Good morning.
Good afternoon.
Good night, and welcome to Jazzy Conversations. I'm Teef.
And I'm Gigi.
And we're excited to be here.
Listen, thanks for checking in.
Welcome to Jazzy Conversations. I'm Teef.
And I'm Gigi.
And listen, 2345 Whitney Avenue, Tavern by the Hall.
Come on down. Come on down. And if you subscribe, you get 10% off your ticket.
10%. Teef and Gigi. Put it in your cell phone right now.
Right now.
T-E-E-F and Gigi. Hit subscribe and you get how much off?
10%, Teef.
Tavern by the Hall. Hey, Steve. Hope all is well, buddy. Check it out. Welcome to Jazzy Conversations. I'm Teef.
I'm Gigi.
And G, we are back.
Listen,
We back.
another week, man. Here we are.
Listen, today is going to be a great one.
This is good.
We headed back to the West Coast.
Let's go.
All right.
They're not ready for this.
They're not ready for this one, but I'm excited. And you know who's very excited? And you're probably same thing with you. My kids are very excited for this one.
Yeah.
They watched this movie a million times.
Did they? Oh, because, they're older than my kids.
Oh,
You're right.
come on.
Yeah.
Who hasn't seen Love and Basketball?
Love and Basketball.
But before we get there, you know I got to play my games.
What do you have for me this week, T?
Gee, I got to be organic with you, and I got to catch you off guard. So here's my games.
Oh, boy.
You ready?
I think so. Let's see.
Here we go. Now, I want the world to know. Okay. 80s children. Tell me your favorite, now listen, candy bar of all time. When we used to go and pay 25 cents and 2 cent tax. Okay? Favorite candy bar, favorite cereal of all time. Favorite cereal. And here's my favorite for you. Tell me your favorite satellite radio station of all time. Of all time. Radio station.
All right, I'll try. All right, let me take a stab.
All right.
We'll start with first things first.
Gotcha.
All right. My favorite candy bar. I've told you on previous shows, I'm a candy and sugar fanatic. Like that's my vice.
Okay.
I like sugar,
All right.
I like candy. So they haven't made a candy bar that I don't like.
Okay.
They just haven't made. I'm gonna eat all kinds of candy bars, but I will say that my favorite of all time. It is not being made anymore. But if I go back to being a child of the '80s, Teef, my favorite candy bar was the Reggie Jackson.
Oh, gee, yes. I remember the Reggie Jackson. That's crazy.
Oh my favorite. So
that's a good one.
It's really not far from a 1,000 gram bar. Right? If you ever have, listen, you can't mess with me. I'm a candy connoisseur.
Gee, you are a professional.
Yes,
Oh, you took me back on that one. Wow.
So that is my favorite.
All
I
right.
remember, if back in the day, I used to go trick or treating. But that's the thing. I'm digging like, can we get one of those?
I would have never thought of that.
Almost never got one. Yes. So that's
Gotcha.
my favorite candy bar.
bar.
They don't make it anymore.
That's my
I
girl.
loved it. If they ever bring it back, Reggie Jackson.
It was in the orange wrapper too.
It was in an orange
yes,
wrapper.
Yes,
It wasn't
oh
long.
my
It
goodness.
was round. Yeah, that was my joint. So thanks for that question. Listen,
That was a good. That's why I like being organic with you.
Listen, candy, desserts, you could get a whole show out of me.
Okay.
With that topic.
All right.
So let's see. That was question number one. Favorite candy bar.
Cereal of all time.
Favorite cereal. So I'm
childhood, not adult.
Yeah,
childhood.
Listen, adult or childhood, you're probably gonna get the same answer because I'm still
Wow.
a sweets fanatic.
Okay.
But I just don't indulge like I used to. This one was Pops. I liked Pops.
Oh, gee, you're killing me.
I like
killing me.
because I can eat Pops warm or cold.
Oh,
like
my
I don't know,
goodness.
CP, when you like your sweet treats,
Yeah.
you find all
You're a
kinds of
professional
ways
when it comes to the
have it.
sweets. Oh my
I can
goodness.
even put Pops on my ice cream occasionally. So Pops was my favorite cereal. I loved it.
Girl.
That was my favorite.
Wow.
Now I don't listen to satellite radio.
Radio station then. But
Okay.
but when I say mine, you probably say, oh yeah. So
Yeah.
think. Okay, when we were
right.
kids, childhood, elementary, early, middle school,
Yeah.
what was the radio station you listened to?
Well, I'm here in New Haven, so what I was always trying to log into was 98.7.
98.
Always trying to get into 98.7, get Red Alert, try to get the station to tune in.
Okay.
I never could get it in long enough to hear a whole set. but that's what I was always trying to log into. Log into. We weren't logging
What
into
was that?
anything back then. That
I was
wasn't a
about to say
thing. Right?
what?
We weren't
It's
logging
like,
in.
girl, we didn't even know what that
You
meant.
know what
I
logging
log
on
into it. You
is?
tripping.
So that was it back then. But for local listening, it was WNHC was the radio
Oh my
station in
goodness.
New Haven. It was
Okay.
1340.
Oh, 13.4. Oh,
Yeah,
okay. Now you said that.
1340.
Got you.
And
You're
that's
bringing me
when I would
back.
get all the R&B, and
Wow.
occasionally I think you could get a little bit of hip hop back
Look
then, but I
at
was a hip hop
you.
head.
Look
So
at
that
you.
that was it for me. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I
Okay.
didn't quite answer the question, but I hope I
No,
passed
no,
the
no.
test.
G, come on.
I can't fail, right? I
I
can't fail
wanted to
with this
catch
guy.
you off guard. I wanted you to be organic, and you was. And those are real good answers, G.
There you go.
Wow.
There you go. So back to you. You know I'm gonna send it right on back your way.
So,
Favorite
yep.
candy bar as a kid,
As a
or
kid,
ever of all time?
it's not a candy bar, but my sister and my brother will be watching. And they'd be like, "Yeah, he." It's between two, but I'll give you this
Okay.
one because it's real.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I used to love? I spend my money on all the time. I
What?
used to go with my quarter. Here you go for my 2 cents tax. Twizzlers, the red Twizzlers.
Oh
Gee, I
yes,
used to be in love with them in elementary, early
same.
junior high. Oh my goodness,
I love
the
Twizzlers.
Twizzlers was my thing.
There's no candy I haven't
No, no,
had.
no. I
So yeah, I get the big
and
packs.
that was before I had to picks the. So the Twizzlers.
Yes, yes.
Now check this one out. My favorite cereal of all time when I
Okay.
used to eat cereal. Now here's the catch because you're gonna laugh at this. If we could afford the Frosted Flakes, the original ones,
Yeah.
those were my favorite.
Yes.
But Annie Mae wasn't buying those. Like
Listen.
you said your mom is and dad is immigrants.
Yeah.
We always got the bootleg kind with all the sugar at the bottom of the bag. You know those big
I
bags.
understand fully.
So we always got the Frosted Flakes. I don't. They weren't called Frosted Flakes, but you know what I'm talking about.
I
That big
do.
old bag that you rip. So we always got the bootleg ones, and my
Oh my
sister and
goodness.
I will fight over. I mean, come on. Everyone watching this know your parents would go to the store on a Saturday. By Monday, that bag was gone.
Gone. Gone. If they got the
Gee,
ones
that
they didn't
bag
get,
was
gone.
gone.
Listen, you are taking me so far back. Did you all ever have oh my goodness. It was a crunch cereal. It was a bootleg ripoff of Captain King Vitamin. Tell me you
Oh,
had King Vitamin.
you know the name.
Yeah,
Now we
I
had the
know.
bootleg Captain Crunch. Everybody had the
We do.
bootleg with all that sugar on the bottom of the bag. Come on
Listen,
now.
y'all remember King Vitamin. Come on. Anyway.
Gee, you the
All
best.
right. So your favorite
Now my favorite.
satellite radio station.
Now here's the catch.
Yeah.
Because we're media personalities, we gotta expose ourselves. My favorite actually reflects my personality.
Okay.
Go back to the 80s,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna make you laugh at this one because I know he's watching. My god brother Billy.
Uh-huh.
And so he'll be lying if he said it. We both used to wake up on Saturday morning,
Yeah.
and you know what we used to cut on all the time? This is Casey Kasem's top 40. Yo, I'm
Oh,
telling you.
absolutely.
Casey Kasem top 40. We would go. My godmother would bring us down to Radio Shack. We would buy the blank CDs. This is before mixtapes.
He said Radio Shack.
Radio Shack, buy the blank
That's
tapes,
right. Yes.
put our finger on the play, record, and pause,
That's right.
and make our mixtapes. That's a true story.
So you had the double cassette.
Come on.
Right? I did that
Oh
too.
my goodness.
You had the double cassette and then try to like make your dubs. Oh,
I can still hear his voice. This is Casey Kasem's top 40, and we will record all the songs from the 80s, like I've been searching. You know, songs like that. And
I know what you're saying. Is that REO Speedwagon?
oh,
Who
look
is
at
that?
you, look at you, look at you.
Could be right. I might not.
So
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
that's why the music from the you know, that era
I
was
do.
the best.
I
G,
do.
G, we back. G, we back.
It's so funny because now in the car with my daughters, like there's not a song that's gonna come on. I know it all.
You know it all.
I
Yeah.
could change any station. We got it. That's us from the '80s.
That's
So.
my girl. That's my girl.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got an amazing show for you today. Erika Ringor. Erika Ringor from the hit TV show or movie, Love and
Yes.
Basketball.
Yes.
I hope you guys are ready. You ready? Here we go. Welcome to Jazzy Conversations. I'm Teef.
I'm Gigi.
And today we have an amazing guest. We're so excited. Our friend to the show, Erika Ringor. Welcome to the show.
Welcome.
Hey, thank you. Appreciate it.
Erika coming all the way from the West Coast.
Yes, repping the West Coast.
There you go.
it
I
is,
knew
West
it. I knew it.
Side. Look at
But this is the real way you gotta
That's
go.
the real way. There we
Throw,
go.
we'll throw it up with you.
We'll throw it up.
All
We
right,
go to the
all
East
right.
Side.
I'm right here and I gotta twist the
Look, she
finger.
gotta
I
twist
can't
it.
do it on the right.
So, Erika, listen, we're going to take people through the process.
Yes.
You have an amazing story. We have a lot of people that's tuned in, was very excited to have you on the show. We're just going to go through the process from the beginning. I want people to know your background. Of course, a lot of people know the shows you played in. You and I spoke. You have a opportunity to be on
Hmm.
something really big. You've already played in King Richard.
That's
A lot of
right.
people remember you in Love and Basketball, of course. But let's go back to the
Yes.
beginning. Let's go back to the beginning. And we just want to know your background, like where you're from, where were you born, siblings, et cetera, et cetera.
Okay. I'm originally from Los Angeles. There aren't a lot of us here.
Mm-hmm.
Born and raised, and I went to St. Bernard's High School, which is like near LAX. So just to give people that know LA,
Okay,
I'm
yeah.
near LAX. Catholic school, played sports. Ended up going to San Diego State my first 2 years, and didn't really do much. The first 2 years of college. You put on your freshman 15, and then you go, oh, I
Yeah.
ain't doing nothing. So I got to figure out my major. So I came back home, moved back home, ended up going to Long Beach State and graduating with a bachelor's in it's theater and technical film. So I also want to direct and produce. So I did like lighting classes, directing classes. So I had an amazing time in college.
Wow.
Like really like set me up for what's going on now. So forever grateful.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Can I ask? Can you back us up? When did you get the acting or the theater bug? Because what we heard is you jumped right into, I think, junior year of college. So when did it actually start?
My junior year in college.
Wow. Oh, tell us more. So
So
what brought you to
so,
it?
so this is an interesting story. So I was in my women's studies class, and I'm outspoken.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a Capricorn.
There you go. That's my girl.
You already know.
You already know.
So this girl heard me speaking in class, and I don't remember the subject. I just remember being pretty passionate about it. And she comes up to me and she's like, "Hey, have you ever thought about doing theater?" And I said, "Yes." I said, "Actually, I want to be an actress." I said, "But I haven't done anything to this day. I've never really done anything. Like my high school didn't have a theater program." So she goes, "Come over with me now to the theater department. I want to show you around." It literally happened like that.
It's amazing.
And she introduced me to people, and then I just fell in love with it. And my first play at Long Beach State was for colored girls who consider suicide when the rain goes enough.
Oh, and Zako
nice.
Shiny.
And it was, to this day, I think one of the top selling productions that they've done. Like we sold out pretty much every night.
Wow.
And we had a really awesome director. There were 12 women in it of 12 different nationalities, but we all had on our own color. And I was the lady in yellow.
Right.
And I actually opened up with the opening monologue. So here's a funny story to all my actors and thespians. It's going to happen. I got on stage, grabbed my yellow scarf, threw it around my neck, and forgot my line.
And forgot.
It happens.
Did you get to it?
It happens.
Yes.
I said,
Yes.
oh, uh-oh.
Yeah.
So, but you stay in character. You don't break.
That's right.
You be in the moment. And I literally just took a deep breath. I said, this ain't it. So get it together.
Mm-hmm.
Looked around. And so people were like, what's she about to do? And then I gave them the first line. And then
So it came
that
back
was it.
to you. Yeah.
Love
wow.
it.
So
Love
yeah, so that was my college experience. Met some amazing people, had amazing professors, friends for life that I see on commercials now. We used to talk about what we were going to do when we get big. And I see my people on commercials.
Yeah.
One of my good friends, Omari Hardwick, on Power. Like me and Omari go way back. So it's inspiring for me to see my people working, because I've been in this game, but like we were talking last night, like it's time for me to level it up.
Absolutely.
Level up. There we go.
Yeah.
What do you prefer? Like just not in terms of how it pays or how people see you,
Mm-hmm.
but what do you enjoy more, stage acting or film acting?
I would say, well, it's just different work.
Right.
Like theater is you in it. You're on stage, you stay in it. It's a lot of energy, and it's a lot of commitment. So when I actually just said to a friend of mine, I was like, I really need to get into a play just to get my tool going again. I've done film and TV, but it's just a different, it's just for me to work on my craft and my presence, and just learn. You can learn a lot on stage, y'all. In life, you can just learn a lot. There's a lot of life lessons on a live stage.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
So yeah.
So
But I prefer, so to answer the question, I prefer film though,
That's it. That's what you prefer. That's what I asked.
So you said you started at San Diego State. So that means, is that
Yeah.
where you met Pook? Did you meet?
Yes. So I met Paul, or Pooh Daddy, Paul, in Summer Bridge in 92. It was even before. So there was this program before college.
Okay.
And it was called the Summer Bridge. And when I tell you to this day, like I have pictures of me and Paul on stage doing talent shows. Because when I was 18, I wanted to do music. Okay. So I had a demo. I rapped, and my stage name was Misbehaving. Let that sit. MS. Behaving.
All right.
It was 90s, y'all. It's 90s, y'all. It's 90s. So
I appreciate it. I think it's amazing.
And you're calling him by his government name, so I'm smiling from ear to ear, but go ahead.
Mr. Paul Watson III. Ooh, he's gonna be mad that I just said that. Yeah, so it's just we had a good time. Like, and this is where like my college roommate I met in Summer Bridge. So I met her, and then we continue to be friends till this day.
Okay.
And so yeah, Paul and I, we 92. That's how long we've been rocking.
Wow.
So now we're gonna go to the next step. So you graduate from college. What's your
Yes.
what direction do you go? You look for management? How do you go into the game?
No, I just go straight into like extra work and like independence. Okay. So business was a little different. There was no social media. Right. Like literally, it was get your Thomas Guide. Anybody know what a Thomas Guide is? If you don't, Google it. If you're watching, Google Thomas Guide, and just kind of figure it out. Like I followed certain people, but really I just had to like find my own way.
Okay.
If that makes sense. There's no right way to get into this business, but I started with extra work.
We've heard that on this show. There's no right way, no particular path. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, you figure out your way. So I got my first 3 SAG vouchers on the Jamie Foxx show when he first came out.
Okay.
And I worked the first 3 episodes, and I was Hoochie number 1.
Hoochie number 1.
It was my first, like, I was featured though. It was like a featured extra. So they put the camera on me, and like I'm in this like one piece Hoochie little outfit. I actually have the video because someone sent it to me on Instagram. They were like, "Is this you?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's me." So yeah. So from then on, I just I hustled. Like I can't. It was just you keep going. Mm-hmm. I was networking. I was doing workshops. I was like parlaying on set for sure. Mm-hmm. So for me, it's about networking and being on set. I was never the person in holding with everyone else. I was always standing next to the director. I always maneuvered my way back on set because I need to hear what's going on. I want to see everybody's job. Mm-hmm. But really, I was next to the director, like, what you doing? Because this is what I want to do.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. And I'm actually right now, I'm working on an ebook for people that want to know how to get started. Because that's literally wherever I go, they're like, the question is, what do I got to do?
Right.
And I'm like, you know what? Let me just write this ebook. It's going to be about 15 pages, and it's going to be it's timeless. You can open it up 15 years from now, and it's going to be the same process.
I love it because, believe it or not, G's headed down to Manhattan next week, and she's going with her acting coaches and teachers. So we're very excited for her. Yeah.
Oh,
she's in the game.
I used to love it. I started much earlier, but then I dropped off when I got to college. I was like, nobody's going to make money doing this. That's what I told myself.
Yeah. Well, all right. Well, it's time to get back.
Right? Why not?
So your first role, what does that look like? What was your first, besides the Jamie Foxx show, your next role?
So my first speaking role?
Yes, correct.
Okay, so there's all these independents where like I was doing like college indies with other students. So I was trying to build a reel.
Okay, yeah.
Because I didn't have an agent. So I was like, okay, cool. I'm going to do these independent films. I'm going to, just network and build and get better. My goal was just to get better because I didn't know if I was ready. I didn't think I was ready yet. So my very, very first speaking role on a TV show was a CBS show. And I was like an FBI director. And I think it was like 3 words. And I was so excited. I made 1,000 postcards, mailed them out to casting directors, putting them up on like, watch this. And I literally only had 3 words. But it was the biggest 3 words ever.
And you got paid.
And I got paid. Yeah. And just from there, I had a really good manager. So like in 2012, I did 10 TV shows.
Wow. Wow. Love it. Love it. Love it.
Yeah. So
you were hustling.
and then so I took, and then so from there it was like, I worked, and then wasn't really fulfilled.
Okay.
And so I was like, okay, it's time to level up. Like, I'm here, but I'm not happy, even though these things are happening. And so that's when I started my nutrition business and started working with Herbalife. And I literally took a break from my career, about 6 years, to build my nutrition business, build my team, met my best friends in life. Like, to this day, I still do Herbalife. It really works with what I do, but I'm also about helping people, physical fitness. That's always been me. It's, athlete, just trying to motivate people, coach. Like, some of my people call me Coach E. My friends call me Sergeant Slaughter.
We've seen your guns. I've seen your guns.
Yes,
We've seen those guns.
I'm working on them. I'm trying to get back. I took a break.
Now, what year did you start that nutrition? What years? What years?
I started Herbalife in 2012.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm in. I'm 10 years in.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's an amazing experience traveling. I had a nutrition club for 4 years where I ran like workouts with 150 people 3 days a week. Created a community of just positivity, and I'm debating now if I want a club, if I want to start a workout. So I'm just trying to stay busy and just build and have fun
and be happy. Yeah. Sounds like, because that was the mission, right? Like, I'm not happy. What's gonna make me happy?
There you go.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I love that.
Now, I would just want to back up just a little bit, because Gigi and I are ready to dive into this. Give me some of that first of all.
Come on, there we go.
Give us some. Come on. There you go.
There
you
it
go.
is.
Now let's go. That phone call comes, ladies and gentlemen, in the 90s. Love and basketball. How does that look? What does that look like? What is that feeling?
Okay. So, do you remember the play Beauty Shop?
Of course,
yes.
Okay. So I was on tour with Shelly when I got the audition for Love and Basketball. Actually, it was right before I booked the play.
Okay.
So I had the audition, and it was okay. It's such a movie. It's like, it's how I got this. When I connect the dots looking forward now, I'm like, man, it's meant for me.
Tell us all that. Tell us all that.
We want to know.
We want to know all that.
Okay, so I'm gonna keep it short, but it's gonna be
no. Don't keep it short. You got time.
Okay. So my cousin calls me. My cousin Myrie calls me and says, "Hey, cuz, Spike Lee is having he's having auditions for basketball players." And I was like, the ego, careful your ego, all that pride. I was like, I don't do cattle calls.
Okay.
Okay. I was like, she was like, okay. I was like, yeah, I don't do cattle calls. Hang up. I think about it. I was like, wait a minute, Spike Lee, basketball players. I'm at this point in my life, I'm literally playing basketball 6 days a week.
Wow.
Recreation.
Okay.
It's actually built for you.
Yeah, I'm already in amazing shape. Like, I was in the best shape of my life. I was 23 when I booked Love and Basketball. And so I call her back and I was like, okay, what's the info? So she gives me the address and I'm like, why do I know this address? It's my high school.
Wow.
Okay.
That's where they're holding the auditions. I walk in and my basketball coach is in there with Gina helping. And I was like,
wow.
What in the world?
So I remember I parked my car and I remember I grabbed my ball out the trunk and I had my little ball, my little cutoff shirt. I had my Lakers shorts on. So I was like, good luck. Hair in a little bun. And I was like, let me try to look cute and put some hoops on and some lip gloss. I was like, let me not look like, too rough. So I went in there and I remember I walked up to the door and I kind of looked because I was looking for the sign in and I had my ball and I was like, kind of casing the joint, and then signed in, had fun. Like, I got a number. It's like all these people I haven't seen in a long time. And so Gina comes up to me and another girl who I know from the court, like playing in leagues. And she's like, hey, will you two stay after and help me out with the auditions? So any girls that come in, the audition was playing 2-on-2. That's it.
Okay.
We had a number. She put you on a team. So, and I was like, you want us on the same team? Because that's not going to be fair. Like, because me and her play. Some of the girls played, and a lot of them really didn't. Like, they were athletes, but they didn't necessarily play basketball.
Choice. Right.
Yeah. So we go out there, we kill off all these girls, and I'm competitive. So it's 100 right now. I'm not being nice to you. Like, I'm trying to get this role. I'm trying to book to be on the team. That's my mind. So it ends up, so she comes up at the end of after the audition, and Gina's like, she hands me some sides for Monica, and which is the lead for Sanaa's role. Yeah. And she was like, can you come in and read next week? Now, she didn't give any sides to anyone else. Wow. And I was like, that I knew of. I didn't see her give anyone else. It was like sign in, play, and leave. So when I stayed, she was like, hey, she goes, come in. So I come in the following week. I read for Monica. Wow. And it was okay. Like, it was okay. Like, it wasn't bad. But in my mind, I'm like, I wonder if they already have somebody, because this is the lead of the movie. Yeah. And I'm, I understand I'm understanding kind of what's going on. So I audition. I don't get it. I don't hear anything. And then I book Beauty Shop. Okay. And we haven't left yet, but I had booked it. Now I'm dancing, because I used to dance. Like, I did professional choreography. So we're opening up the show for Shelly Garrett. So it's like a 20-minute dance routine, and very taxing. Like, it was big, and it was I was traveling. So when I book it, then I get the audition for Sidra. I was able to audition before I leave. Okay. And so I auditioned, but then I tell Aisha Coley, casting director who did it, I said, hey, I just booked this play. Should I stay here? Like, I don't want to leave and then book this. And she was like, go make your money. Okay. That's all she said. Okay. I said, okay. She goes, when we want you, we'll call you. Or if we want you, we'll call you. I said, cool. I let it go. I really didn't think about it. And as I was on the road, I kept checking in with the casting office. I didn't have representation. So I'm just doing what I think I should do. So I'm calling the casting office, and I get really chummy. I get real cool with the assistant. And his name was Adam. And he would like, hey, Erika, they still haven't decided. Call me back next week today. So he had me calling him for like 3 weeks on a Thursday. And he said, just keep calling back. I would call. He's like, nope, nothing yet. Call back. I said, okay. So finally, they called me. And at the time, I was on hiatus, and I was in New Jersey. And I get this call, and I just remember, I was like, oh my God, I think this is casting. It's that strange number, but it looks important. Yes. And I was like, hello? And she was like, Erika? I said, yeah. She goes, hey, this is Aisha. I said, hi. Right up. Hi. Right. And then she's like, so we want to book you for the role of Sidra. I was like, okay. Wow. And then so I was like, she was like, so what's your situation now with the play? And I was like, I'm out when you need me back. So I told Shelly and them, and they understood. They were completely supportive. And mind you, this is where I met Omari. I met Omari Hardwick on the play of Shelly Garrett's Beauty Shop. Oh yeah, okay, wow. Okay. He was the little dancer, and his little outfit was the Speedos and some Temps. He gonna kill me that I just said that. Love you all. Anyway, so I fly back. We end up training for 2 weeks with Colleen, who was the assistant coach of the UCLA girls basketball team at the time. And I was already in shape. Yeah. I was already in incredible shape. And I was just like, oh, this is perfect. So we were like running miles, and I literally like
coasting.
You was destroying him. Coasting. You was destroying him.
And it's just, it was just naturally the competitive thing. Like, that's just what it is. Yeah. Like, movie or not, we're out here. Let's do it. And I filmed for, I think, 2 weeks, a week and a half, almost 2 weeks. And incredible time. Wow.
You met some great people, some great people, some great friends.
Great friends. Yeah. And it loving basketball really for me didn't get big until after it came out of the theaters. Like, it was big in theaters, but I really didn't start getting like recognized or people showing me like love until probably when it came out on DVD or whatever it was back then. That was 2000. So, yeah. And people started recognizing me, and I was like, okay.
Unforgettable
and then it was like, huh?
Unforgettable role. Yeah. Unforgettable role, right?
Yeah,
right,
yeah, absolutely. I mean, the movie is so fun and touching, right? It becomes a classic, which absolutely. I think happens with a lot of our movies. It's once it comes out of the theater, much like what you said, and we watch it, and now our younger siblings watch it, and we pass it on. So yeah, my daughters know who you are.
Absolutely, absolutely.
yeah, so it was cool. It was like, oh, this is okay, so this is it. And then even now to this day, like, and it was crazy. It's like, I'm like, when you get recognized with your hat and sunglasses on, I was like, okay, you made it.
You made
You
it.
made it. So yeah, so just riding this wave, and people are like, does it ever get old? Does it? And I was like, no. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
I want to do projects that impact people.
Absolutely.
And that's it. And this is one of those films. I've had people come up to me in full tears, like, this movie got me through like life.
Yeah.
Like, I've had a lot of girls that were in college, like, I was having a tough time, and I watched this and you would inspire me, and I was just like, cool.
Absolutely.
Like, that's my payoff,
That's right.
So
have you ever turned roles down because you felt that they weren't meaningful enough, or just
yes,
didn't align?
Yes, absolutely.
Good. Yeah.
And they were,
Wow.
Yeah. And people were like, why would you do that? I was like, because I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
So you have this, oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, that was it. Yeah, that was it.
So you have this great hit. It comes out, like you said, now it's on DVD, you're getting recognized. How does that change? Do you get called in for more opportunities, casting, what? Auditions?
What's funny is, no, that's where, like, it's, what was it? I think that's when I was like, I couldn't get an agent. Like, the one that I wanted.
Wow.
Okay.
And I felt like there's so many. Here's a little nugget. When I was, after I filmed Love and Basketball, I was still working.
Wow.
You don't make $1 million on your first film. And I know we'll get to that, but I was still working, and I was temping at the time because it was flexible, and that's what I needed, flexibility for auditions. I wasn't teaching yet. I'm a substitute teacher. I hadn't signed up. Well, I had, but I hadn't started. And I didn't really want to teach, even though I had the opportunity to, but I was like, So it kind of got like, I don't know. It was, I had to swallow a lot of pride, put it like that. So here's the irony of this. The movie, or the production that released Love and Basketball, was New Line Cinema, the distribution company.
Okay.
My temp job was at New Line Cinema.
Wow.
I was the front desk person. I answered the phone. I was doing admin work. I was, secretary, whatever you want to call it. So people would walk up at New Line Cinema going into the office, and they would kind of sign in, and they'd look at me and they go, are you in a movie?
Oh my goodness.
Love and Basketball was in theaters at this time.
Yes.
And as I'm working at New Line Cinema, and I was like, yes. And it took a lot for me to keep my head up.
That's humbling.
Ooh.
I would imagine that's very humbling.
This is really good.
Because you would imagine, this is my break.
Yeah.
But then here I am.
This is really good.
Taking messages.
Girl.
Yeah.
I had to swallow it. But then I had to realize, like, you're still in a movie, Erika. You still got to pay your bills. And this is the real. Like, you'll get there, but like right now, it doesn't make you any less. It actually makes you more, because you're doing what you got to do. You know what I mean? I'm not sitting at home faking it, and then I'm behind on bills, and like that didn't work for me.
Right.
I love that.
So,
G and I are going to sit here. We're going to be talking about this afterwards. That was a key part that everyone's watching, because as you've seen, we spoke. When Renee was on, she said the same thing.
Absolutely.
She had to swallow her pride. Renee Lawless from the Have and the Have Nots, and say, listen, until that next role come, I have to pay my bills. And I have to work.
Right. So I was temping, like I was Ubering. And this was later down, but like people were getting in my car. And I remember, Love and Basketball at the time was a certain demographic. So when Black people would get in my car, I'd be like, hope they don't recognize me.
Wow. No, that's what a contradiction, right? To hope not to be recognized.
Because what are they going to think about me? Like, so she didn't, it's a whole thing. And I know what actors go through. So that's why I'm so big on working on myself. Like, self first, period. Over money, over fame, over anything. I have to preserve myself, even before my mom. Like, it's me first with certain things. And I had to learn. No one really, there was no like class to take if you book and then you got to work, and then like there was no class. I just had to figure it out and go through what I had to go through, and I'm glad I did, because now I can share with people, like, this is part of the steps. This is part of the success. If you want to be an actor, it's up and down until you get to a certain point where you're getting the calls, and you don't have to audition. And that's all actors I know want to get to that point where we're just booked. We don't want to audition, just offer us the role.
Right.
Beautiful.
But you have to earn that.
Right.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
okay, we have
and so Erika, at that point, you're 23, 24 years old. On top of all of that, on top of taking that hit to your ego, just a mere 23, 24 years old. Like, that's a lot to take on and learn. But it sounds like you have the maturity and the presence of spirit to like really deal with it. So that's amazing.
Yeah. And now that I look back, I was like, okay, oh, I did pretty good. I'm a lot further now.
Absolutely.
So at this point, you just got to do what you got to do, or you're going to be homeless. So pick one.
That's right.
King Richard.
Yes,
oh my
let's
goodness.
talk about that. That was a fun role.
Yeah.
Nosy neighbor.
Right. Give it to me, G.
Hey, listen, y'all going to laugh. That was probably one of the easiest auditions I've ever done.
Wow. Okay.
And easy meaning fun.
Yeah.
I didn't put any pressure on it. I remember I was talking to my boy Nick, and I was like, they want ghetto. And I was like, I want to do like a bonnet and a house coat. And he goes, go to Ross and just find you a house coat. And I was like, okay. So I'm on the phone with him, and I'm like, what do you think about this? And it's this little like ghetto pink house coat. And he was like, get it. So I was like, okay. So I get this is on the way to the audition. So I stop, I get this house coat. I already have my bonnet. And the idea was they wanted her ghetto.
Yeah.
Okay.
I said, okay. So I go into the audition with pajama pants on, house coat, bonnet, house slippers. And I remember walking in and I sign in, and this one lady goes, damn, you committed.
That's right. Yes, I am.
Said, yes, honey, I have. And I just kind of laughed. But in my mind, I'm like, well, what else am I going to do? Why wouldn't I commit? Like, so I go in there and I give it to him. Yeah.
Wow. All that. All that. What you say, Inglewood?
So
I love it.
That was, I think, on a Thursday. Quickest call back I've ever gotten.
Wow.
My manager calls me the next morning at 8:30 a.m. And when I saw the call, I was like, why Brittany calling me right now? I was like, okay. I was like, hello? She said, girl. I said, what?
She said, what? Tell me what?
She said, you penned for King Richard. I said, what? I said, I just auditioned yesterday. She said, I know. And then I said, okay. She was like, well, casting's going to, they're going to reach back out to me. They have some information. I'll let you know. I was like, okay. So she called me back, and they had actually showed the tape to the Williams family for notes. And they were like, we love her. Tone down the ghetto. Just have her bring it down. And I was like, oh, that's easy. I can do that. So I go back in and tone it down, and I do it, and I book it.
Wow.
So the Williams family gave notes. That's amazing. So they were really committed to this
process. Some of the sisters were on set. Wow. Yeah, some of the sisters were on set.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just to, keep it real, I guess. Yeah. And and then here I am with Will Smith.
Yes.
There you go.
And Will and I have we have some history as far as like our acting coach, because we both study with Aaron Spicer.
Okay.
And I've been studying with Aaron Spicer for probably 20 years. Before I did Love and Basketball, I was with Aaron. And Will, when I was in class with Aaron, came and spoke to us for about 4 hours to tell us his process of how he broke down the character in A Pursuit of Happiness.
Wow. One of my favorite movies.
And when I tell you, I was like, just listening to, and we have the same coach. So I understand the process. Like, we have the same process, but he was even further. And if you know anything about Will, like, he's going to be on this treadmill till he dies. So you're going to be on the treadmill, he's going to be on the treadmill. He's like, I won't stop till I'm dead. So that's how hard he works. And so I was just listening to his process and how serious it is. And that's why, he's Will Smith. And
absolutely.
That's right.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Erika, this has been, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just like, it was just amazing. It was literally full circle.
This has been amazing. Amazing interview. G.
Absolutely.
Amazing.
Yeah.
We're going to have you back. We're going to have you back. We want to give you an opportunity right now. If you have anything going on, please tell us what's going on. Anything you're working on, any books, you spoke
there's
about
an
a book.
ebook. We know there's an ebook.
Nutrition. This is your open time.
Okay, great. Okay, so my ebook, I'm working on it. So it's new for me, but I want to do it, and it's like the structure is there. So now it's just kind of filling in the blanks.
Okay.
And my goal is to have it done by summer. So just stay tuned.
Okay.
My Instagram, you guys, and I'll keep people updated on my Instagram, is Erika, Erika .Ringor, Ringor. So follow me, holla at me, DM me, say hi. I'm there. Nutrition wise, I'm still training. I'm still doing Herbalife. So if you have some health goals, hit me up.
There you go.
Well, you look good, sis. So whatever
you're
doing, it's
there
working.
You
look
go.
amazing.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm doing it. I'm trying.
Yeah.
Trying to stay relevant, y'all.
And good luck on that audition. I know you're waiting to hear something back.
Oh yeah.
I'm not going to talk about that, but good luck on that. Okay.
Yes.
So next time we bring you back, you can tell us about that.
I have something to talk about. I appreciate it.
Now, Gigi got 3 important questions to ask you.
Yes.
G?
Okay.
So here we go. I hope you've got the right answers on cue. Mm-hmm. Name your top 3 podcasts.
Teep and Gigi.
All right, there it is.
Give it to me, G. Give it to me.
We'll listen to it, but we wanted to make sure we got that out of the way. Yes.
Teep and Gigi. And well, I'll give you some people that I do listen to daily. Yeah. Okay. I listen to Jim Rohn. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Incredible.
Okay.
I listen to Brendan Burchard. Mm-hmm. He wrote the 7. He has like 2 books. Brendan Burchard, James Clear, Atomic Habits Changed My Life.
Okay.
It's a book called Atomic Habits by James Clear. I listened to TD Jakes. I had to get him in my system this morning. Yeah. Had to have TD talk to me this morning.
There you go.
To set my day up. And I listen to a lot of meditation music. Like I'm all about, I have it tatted on my chest, alignment. Okay. It's about alignment. Everything's got to be.
It's got to be aligned. Get your values. Yeah, that's right. That's beautiful.
Erika, we had an amazing time today. Yeah, I know G's excited. I was excited, but we both better give a big shout out to our homeboy, Pook Diesel. I'm calling him Pook Diesel. I'm not calling him by his government.
Thank you, Paul Watson III.
He's going to get you. He's going to get you. It's been amazing. We're going to bring you back on. Thanks for coming.
Thank you so much.
On behalf of us, welcome to Jazzy Conversations. I'm Teef.
And I'm Gigi.
Erika, take care. Have a great night.
Thank you.
Great to see you.
Take care. Take care.
Nice meeting you.
Thank you so much. Oh, gee, that was amazing. Did you enjoy yourself?
I sure. She's beautiful.
She's beautiful. She's beautiful.
She really is.
I knew you would like that one. I knew you'd like that one.
I sure did.
Gee,
what a treat.
We have another hit.
Yeah.
It's been amazing.
Yes.
And
I can't wait to have her come back when she's got her good news to share. Oh. That'll be great.
And the fact that what she said at the end, that we both was like, oh my goodness, I love this information. I love it. Priceless.
That was priceless. She was really a great guest.
You ready for next week?
Let's go. You know I am.
And I got 3 more questions for you at the end.
Okay.
But listen,
we haven't told the people. We haven't reminded you, but we're reminding you right now. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. Right? Help this podcast grow. We want to bring you good energy, people's stories, right? That we enjoy hearing. We imagine you do too. Like and subscribe.
And when we leave here every Friday night, if you want to hang out with us, where are we going down to when we leave here?
Oh, you know where we're going to be, over at Tavern on the Hall.
Please, in the Hampton, Tavern on the Hall. Ask for my buddy Steve. Yeah. If you talk to Steve, listen, tell him, show him your phone that you subscribed. Take your wife out, take your husband out, go down there. They have pool, karaoke, have a few drinks, a little eating. And at the same time, if you show them that you have subscribed, you get 10% off. Tell them you, Teef and Gigi sent you down. We'll be down there usually on Friday and Saturday nights. You can hang out with us, all right?
Come on down. Good to see you all.
Tavern
like and subscribe.
Have a good night. On behalf of Jazzy Conversations, I'm Teef.
And I'm Gigi.
Have a great night. Take care, guys.